Hi, I'm Amy Smollers. I am a certified high performance coach and CEO of Strategic Market Insight. And welcome to this week's episode of Reflective Fridays. So, I was talking with my mom the other day, and it got me thinking back to when I was a kid. And I used to ask her and my dad, saying, how do you know, or how did you know that you loved dad when you met him? Or, Dad, how did you know that you love mom? And I would get the response that I always dreaded was, nah, I just know. I just knew. And as a kid, that was so frustrating. And I would think, well, how did you know? Because I was a kid, right? And I have two boys that are 6 and 8. And it's, how does it work? What happens? When does it happen? Why does it happen? And get those answers. And all they have was, well, I don't know. It just felt right. It worked. And I will say, for those of you who don't know their story, they met when they were 30 on a blind date, mind you, and got married 9 weeks later. I know, crazy to even wrap my head around that. But fast forward, next week they're celebrating their 42nd wedding anniversary. So congratulations, Mom and Dad, for doing that. But also it's a testament that they just knew, and they were building this relationship and have built this relationship, and they've been together and worked through a lot of stuff. But that's part of, being married and having relationships. But I still thought they were nuts when I was a kid until I was 19. And I'll never forget the day where sitting in the backyard and up the driveway comes this guy with his hat on backwards on rollerblades. And I took a double take and we looked at each other, and there was just this connection, and one I had never felt before and never thought possible. And that was with my now husband, who, fast forward, will be married almost 15 years this year. We'll celebrate our 15-year wedding anniversary this year. And it was at that moment when I first saw him that I thought, oh, that's what they meant. It felt right. Now, what do these two sappy stories have to do with anything? Well, for this week's episode, it's when it feels right, you know it. And I say that so some of you may say, okay, Amy, I don't have feelings like that, or I don't get that body feeling a lot. And so I have some questions for you. So on one side of it, have you ever, if for those of you who went to a college or university or a trade school or continued education and looked at different schools, did you walk onto a campus or in a classroom or meet a teacher and just have a connection and just feel at home, or feel, oh, this is good. This is what I should be doing. Have you ever gone to a job interview and you walk in and the people you meet, you think, okay, these are my people. And your potential boss who's interviewing you, you get along and you think, okay, this feels right. But then on the flip side, have you ever gone into a job interview and left there thinking, oh my goodness, I am so glad I came to this interview because this is not a place that's a fit for me? Or have you ever been hanging out with friends or at a dinner party and someone makes a joke and it just, it's awkward. It doesn't feel right. So if you answered yes to any of those, you do have those feelings. The challenge is a lot of us don't take time to let our minds catch up with our bodies, right? So we may feel something, but we're gotta go, and gotta pick up the kids, gotta go to the soccer practice, gotta go to the grocery store, gotta go to the gym, have to get to work, and all of these things that we're so busy moving forward that we don't take a breath and assess what we're feeling. So my challenge to you this week, I'd like you to think back over the past week, and not too much further, because our brains we as humans have a tough time really recalling what happens past a week, and things kind of get jumbled sometimes. And I know they do for me, but there's actually studies that talk about this. But think over the past week and a time where you were in a situation that just felt good. You were at peace, you were maybe excited, but it was a good, you were jazzed up or calm. And I'd like you to write about what the situation was, what you were feeling, what you were thinking, what you were doing, and describe it to yourself. Now flip that coin over and think of a time over the past week where you were in a place or a situation with people where you're like, it just doesn't, I don't feel it. I don't really want to be here. And as uncomfortable and hard as it is, I want you to write down where you were, who you were with, what was going on, what you felt, and what you were thinking. Now, there's a reason for doing this because you're writing down the positive side to really reinforce the mind. Okay, this feels good, and to say okay, and to recognize the next time it happens, oh, this is good. And also on the side, writing down something that didn't feel as good or felt uncomfortable. So when you have those feelings again, you're a little more aware to say, okay, I had this feeling last time, and the feeling I was here doing this, I don't like it. So I hope you take some time for yourself and take that challenge for this week. And also, I hope you enjoy some of this video, a little bit of personal side and sharing some tips around helping you become more aware of what you're feeling and thinking at the same time. So please don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you get these automatically in your inbox every week. And most importantly, don't forget to start and end every day with a smile.